Alright guys, I'm back with another chapter in Numbers. We're in Numbers chapter 16, where the header reads, Many leaders rebel against Moses, Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And we're going to jump right into it. One day, Korah, son of Izhar, and who was a descendant of Kohath, son of Levi, conspired with Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, from the tribe of Reuben. They incited a rebellion against Moses along with 250 other leaders of the community, all prominent members of the assembly. They united against Moses and Aaron and said, You have gone too far. The whole community of Israel has been set apart by the Lord, and he is with all of us. What right do you have to act as though you are greater than the rest of the Lord's people? When Moses heard what they were saying, he fell face down on the ground. Then he said to Korah and his followers, Tomorrow morning the Lord will show us who belongs to him and who is holy. The Lord will allow only those whom he selects to enter his own presence. Korah, you and all your followers must prepare your incense burners. Light fires in them tomorrow and burn incense before the Lord. Then we will see whom the Lord chooses as his holy one. You Levites are the ones who have gone too far. Then Moses spoke again to Korah. Now listen, you Levites. Does it seem insignificant to you that the God of Israel has chosen you from among all the community of Israel to be near him, so you can serve in the Lord's tabernacle and stand before the people to minister to them? Korah, he has already given this special ministry to you and your fellow Levites. Are you now demanding the priesthood as well? The Lord is the one you and your followers are really revolting against. For who is Aaron that you are complaining about him? Then Moses summoned Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab. But they replied, We refuse to come before you. Isn't it enough that you brought us out of Egypt, a land flowing with milk and honey, to kill us here in this wilderness, and that you now treat us like your subjects? What's more, you haven't brought us into another land flowing with milk and honey. You haven't given us a new homeland with fields and vineyards. Are you trying to fool these men? We will not come. Then Moses became very angry and said to the Lord, Do not accept their grain offerings. I have not taken so much as a donkey from them, and I have never hurt a single one of them. And Moses said to Korah, You and all your followers must come here tomorrow and present yourselves before the Lord. Aaron will also be here. You and each of your 250 followers must prepare an incense burner and put incense on it, so you can all present them before the Lord. Aaron will also bring his incense burner. So each of these men prepared an incense burner, lit the fire, and placed incense on it. Then they all stood at the entrance of the tabernacle with Moses and Aaron. Meanwhile, Korah had stirred up the entire community against Moses and Aaron, and they all gathered at the tabernacle entrance. Then the glorious presence of the Lord appeared to the whole community, and the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, Get away from all these people, so that I may instantly destroy them. But Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground. O God, they pleaded, You are the God who gives breath to all creatures. Must you be angry with all the people when only one man sins? And the Lord said to Moses, Then tell all the people to get away from the tents of Korah, Darath, and Abiram. So Moses got up and rushed over to the tents of Dathan and Abiram, followed by the elders of Israel. Quick, he told the people, get away from the tents of these wicked men, and don't touch anything that belongs to them. If you do, you will be destroyed for their sins. So all the people stood back from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Then Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the entrance of their tents, together with their wives and children and little ones. And Moses said, This is how you will know that the Lord has sent me to do all these things that I have done, for I have not done them on my own. If these men die a natural death, or if nothing unusual happens, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord does something entirely new, and the ground opens its mouth and swallows them and all their belongings, and they go down alive into the grave, then you will know that these men have shown contempt for the Lord. He had hardly finished speaking the words when the ground suddenly split open beneath them. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed the men, along with their households and all their followers who were standing with them, and everything they owned. So they went down alive into the grave, along with all their belongings. The earth closed over them, and they all vanished from among the people of Israel. All the people around them fled when they heard their screams. The earth will swallow us too, they cried. Then fire blazed from the Lord and burned up the 250 men who were offering incense. And the Lord said to Moses, "Tell Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, to pull all the incense burners from the fire, for they are holy. Also tell him to scatter the burning coals. Take the incense burners of these men who have sinned at the cost of their lives, and hammer the metal into a thin sheet to overlay the altar. Since these burners were used in the Lord's presence, they have become holy. Let them serve as a warning to the people of Israel." So Eleazar the priest collected the 250 bronze incense burners that had been used by the men who died in the fire, and the bronze was hammered into a thin sheet to overlay the altar. This would warn the Israelites that that no unauthorized person, no one who was not descendant of Aaron, should ever enter the Lord's presence to burn incense. If anyone did, the same thing would happen to him as happened to Korah and his followers. So the Lord's instructions to Moses were carried out. But the very next morning, the whole community of Israel began muttering again against Moses and Aaron, saying, "You have killed the Lord's people." As the community gathered to protest against Moses and Aaron, they turned toward the tabernacle and saw that the cloud had covered it, and the glorious presence of the Lord appeared. Moses and Aaron came and stood in front of the tabernacle, and the Lord said to Moses, "Get away from all these people so that I can instantly destroy them." But Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground. And Moses said to Aaron, "Quick, take an incense burner and place burning coals on it from the altar. Lay incense on it and carry it out among the people to purify them and make them right with the Lord. The Lord's anger is blazing against them. The plague has already begun." Aaron did as Moses told him and ran out among the people. The plague had already begun to strike down the people. But Aaron burned the incense and purified the people. He stood between the dead and the living, and the plague stopped. But 14,700 people died in the plague, in addition to those who had died in the affair involving Korah. Then, because the plague had stopped, Aaron returned to Moses at the entrance of the tabernacle. And that's the end of chapter 16. So, I didn't enjoy that passage, and I think a lot of times when I have that, it's good practice and I need to do it more often. I haven't been super great at it. I need to go and read other translations because sometimes I think my translation is weak. And how it's structured and how I read it, it made it seem like God was short-tempered or acting out of frustration, and it was Aaron and Moses the one quelling God, like, "Oh, hey, calm down, like, well, we'll take care of it." And I know that that's not the message that's supposed to be sent through this. So I know that there's a deeper meaning. And when I read the Bible and I really have a strong desire for the Holy Spirit to lead me in a certain manner, and that's where I come up with, I kind of like make sure that I vet myself. I allow those thoughts because I'm a critical thinker. I enjoy that aspect of God just allowing me to have that freedom to do that. But my understanding that the source of all my knowledge and strength and power and wealth, it all comes from Him anyway. And so it just lets me know that I need to seek greater wisdom. This passage confuses me because it shows me a depiction of God that seems kind of impetuous and kind of seems like, oh, they're not doing this, dead. Or and even though that is the expectation for sin, the fact that they kind of, it's almost like a good cop, bad cop, that type of theology to where, I don't want to say that, but that type of psychology to where, I don't understand. If there was a specific way things needed to be done, God was going to do it regardless. The fact that they made it seem like Moses and Aaron had to prevent God from killing all these people, God's will prevailed regardless. So when they make it seem like there's this divide between, okay, there's Aaron and Moses, and they serve God and they're his right hand man for all intents and purposes. It's how it's laid out here in the Bible. They make it seem like every action by God is an overreaction. Because if it's not an overreaction, it's okay that he does it. And he's the creator of everything. Whatever he chooses, it's okay that he does that. But when they, and maybe it's just I struggle with that understanding. I don't want to say it like this, but he seems like a bully in this passage. And I know that's not the intent. Because when you have that authority and he lets you know the expectation and you continue to sin and belittle, the amount of grace that he's extended to all of us, if we get everything that the fact that we have, if he never did half of the things he did for me, it'd be enough. So I get that. But when I read this, you know, especially to prepare people, oh, hey, no, go burn that incense, and you're going to go do that, and then for them to burn alive doing that, or to not, it's hard to say that they weren't communicated well enough. I couldn't imagine if you took, 600,000 of even we'll go say lukewarm Christians, or non-Christians at all, and you drop them off in Egypt right as Moses showed up and said, all right, guys, this is what we're doing. We're heading out of here. God's going to take care of us. And they see all the things that transpire with the splitting of the Red Sea, all the plagues and the locusts and all that horrible stuff that was done to Egypt. And they were saved from all these other divine things. And and so I get confused when people continue to rebel against them. So my confusion for the rebellion is just as strong as my confusion for what seems like an overreaction. But is it? He tells us, spare the rod, spoil the child, faith without works is dead, and he's done all these things for these people, and they're still disrespecting the people that he chose to serve them. And these people are throwing themselves on their face in trying to protect these people, really from themselves. And so, no, I really struggle with this passage, and I don't know if it's just because of how I read it or the translation. So I need to do a little bit more deeper of a dive, and I might reach out to some people that just know a little bit more than I do, and get a little bit more direction. And so, on that note, have a good night. God bless. I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'll be back for chapter 17 of Numbers tomorrow, where the header reads, "The budding of Aaron's staff." And on that note, guys, have a good night. God bless. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.